Okay, picture this. It's the 1400s. France is basically falling apart like a badly built IKEA shelf. And the English are cruising through the country like they own the place. The war's been dragging on for nearly 100 years. Everyone's exhausted, broke, and almost definitely smelling pretty questionable. And then, out of the fog of this disaster, the 17-year-old farm girl shows up and says, "Relax, God told me how to fix it." And the craziest part? She actually does it. Now, keep in mind, we're not starting in Paris or some grand city. We're in Domremy, a tiny village so small it probably didn't even have a rumor mill. Joan grows up helping her family on the farm. Zero military training, zero noble blood, nothing that screams future war hero, just a mountain of faith and, apparently, nerves of steel. Then one day, she starts hearing voices. Saints, she says, telling her she's supposed to save France and get the rightful king crowned. Most people would go, "Cool dream, but I have chores." Joan? No. She saddles up, rides through an active war zone, and demands an audience with the Prince of France, like she's submitting a bold LinkedIn application. And this is where things get weird, because someone actually lets her in. So Joan finally stands before Charles, the Dauphin, the guy who's supposed to be king, and the whole room is basically thinking, who invited this teenager? Next thing you know, boom, she's leading French troops to lift the siege of Orleans. Now imagine being a soldier who's watched your country lose again and again, and suddenly this fearless girl in shining armor rides in waving a banner like the medieval version of Hype Coach. But that's not even the most unbelievable part. The victory at Orleans is huge. It's the kind of win that makes people whisper, okay, maybe she is sent by God. France has hope again. Momentum shifts. The Dauphin becomes King Charles, and Joan is right there beside him, probably resisting the temptation to say, "I told you so," but thinking it very loudly. But here's the thing about success. It makes enemies. Not always the obvious ones. And this is where the story turns from inspirational to tragic. Politics get messy. Allies stop being helpful, and jealous people start whispering. Eventually, Joan is captured, betrayed by those who should have protected her, including the king, who she helped get on the throne in the first place. The English drag her into a trial that's basically like, you were too brave, too inspiring, and too successful. So, witchcraft. They accuse her of heresy. They say her visions are fake. They even go after her for wearing armor, because apparently pants were a bigger problem than war. But here's why Joan is unforgettable. She doesn't break. She doesn't back down. 19-year-old standing in front of hostile judges, saying with absolute conviction, "I did what I was sent to do." And she means it, all the way to the end. She's executed at 19, burned at the stake, but her story doesn't end with the flames. Years later, the church clears her name. Centuries later, she's declared a saint. And now, she's one of the most iconic figures in history. A teenage peasant girl, no formal training, no powerful family, just belief, courage, and the kind of determination that can drag an entire country back from the edge. Not bad for someone who just listened to the voices in her head. So yeah, next time you feel too small or too underqualified to make a difference, remember Joan. She didn't just dream big, she went to war for it. Although maybe stick to more peaceful hobbies at 17. But you get the idea.